back to the Quest for Treasure and Quest for Details channel. We're going to try a completely new spot today. There's an old road. I don't know the history of it very well, but it winds through the hills following a new road. And yeah, since we found some other good coins and roadways from the past, we're going to check this one out. So here's what constitutes a roadway, old enough to where it drove through the washes. You see the skinniest part of a big wide swampy area here, and was used enough to develop a whole bank onto it. I mean, or was developed with tractors later on to a deeper cut. Lots of garbage, you know, I see car bodies and stuff often in the distance, so a lot of these back roads, as time was phased out, they used them as, you know, off-road Dukes of Hazzard, shooting gallery type of area. So it's one of those. I mean, instantly you see a big old pot and pan with 100 holes in it from people shooting and shells all over the ground. But I'm gonna follow this for, you know, I'm planning on a good half-mile to a mile hike up this. I've seen parts of it, but I'm pretty sure that they must all connect. So that's what we're gonna do today, and we're gonna swing the whole time. Going down swinging. And it's beautiful out here. Another was burnt part of California, so I knew it before this. Now it's burnt, it's regrowing, and this is what it looks like. And the skies are a little bit bluer, and it's a little bit cooler. So let's go bug the bears. These sunflowers are pretty cool. They are hip high to me here as we're wading through them. Wow, sunflowers. One stalk with a bunch of little heads on them. What is cool about these is if you raise sunflowers regular, you know, any of the species or whatever, if you've had like giant Russian sunflowers mixed with your red multi-heads, and the next year, you know, you get all these crossbreeds, you can introduce these also, which I did in my yard, and it was awesome because I ended up with things that were 8 foot tall, had like Russian giant sunflower stalks, and busted into like 60 little flower heads that were about, I don't know, 4 inches across, but then they had gotten the fire colors in there from some red sunflowers. So they are one of those flowers, all the varieties of true sunflowers that you find. If you put them in your yard, their pollens will mix, and you'll get some crazy different mixes. So then you save your seeds, and they'll have random different patterns. So this road is pretty defined here, even though we're going through a little swamp. There's a bank on one side, and yeah. Just gonna keep going. Flipped over an old car. Oh, there's a higher road there coming into it. Okay, well, I'm gonna go back on that just a pinch, and I'll show you if I find anything. Close to the road, check this out. Look at the amount of shells that there are all over the ground. It's coated. This is like a little non-official shooting quarry. So, I mean, you could fill a garbage can up with brass here real quick though. We might do that at some point. Stop here. I mean, yeah, the ground is covered still. Look, you get close. A lot of them are stainless steel coated things rusting out, but these are brass. The darker ones turning black. Man, it keeps going too. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go on up. There's only a certain distance where your beer will stay cold too. We're gonna go a little bit beyond that. Here's my next first for you probably. So projectile tip, looks like a 44 or 45. So that's the tip of what goes into those bullet backs, the casings. Keep moving. I'm not gonna show you very many more of those. I figure there's probably gonna be a lot. So just know I'm getting them. This was a road. It eroded, and we're hunting in the ditch. Okay, well, just go ahead and tell me if you know what some of these are, if they're anything that's older. I'll just keep showing them to you. Okay, here's our next find, which I guess is some sort of fishing lure. Have not seen this one. And guys, I don't know, maybe they're sneaking to the pond, but there aren't very many fish in this one. Okay, the strangest of things in the strangest of places, that is the nature of our game. Have you guessed my name? And a sinker to boot. I think we might have had a little bit of a trip and a fall here with the tackle box. Be rich in quartz and stuff. You see, this is a little chunk of common opal floating around out here. See the banding in it? It's more of a surface pattern there, but still counts. And yeah, it looks like this is some sort of haul road. Looks like all chipped up material, and there's mines up here, so probably an old gold mine, because you can see it's all chunks and boulders of quartz everywhere. So what the heck? Okay, it's hard to explain. I don't understand what this would be doing out here in the outer worlds. Okay. Enough said. We know what these are. We've done that before. Okay. Here's a cool spot that we have reached. We have reached it's a foundation. I believe that's the cellar hole down there. There's the corners of the whole deal. And it looks like there's a flat spot beyond the trees. You see there's a big old hole here, full-size cellar, cement or concrete, and big rocks behind the dugout, flat spot out there, and then the road cutting through in front of it. I can see about 50 beer cans sticking out of the hole. And the grass is, here's the ground down there somewhere. And yeah, we got, what, 8 inches of stuff, and half of it's sticky tarweed or wild carrots with burrs all over them. Yay! So I'll let you know if I get anything besides stickers and cans. There's the house site down below, and the road running in front of it. You probably can't make out. Here's the huge rocks. I swear it looks like somebody's moving around. This almost looks like a big old berm here. There's one on the other side and then one in the front. And then just this big old massive thing. Somebody might have been quarrying it for road project or whatever. Oh, and I see a pipe. So I'm kind of going through it, making sure that this wasn't where they had their catch with their gold. That's probably coming down to the house. Gravity feed. But this wouldn't have been. I put on my iron audio so that I could listen to the different iron signals, but I'm not hearing very many nails or anything down in there. Definitely a can dump later on. So with that, but yeah, I'm gonna work my way out that flat spot, and then it winds more up the canyon. So we'll follow it on up. Big old buckeye. The leaves are already fried out this year. But we'll poke around on this hill a little bit and see if there isn't some buried treasure stuck in the cracks. You can see we're in the gorge and what I'm calling a road. I mean, it's definitely a lane of transport, but where it was skinny and winding through the meadows, now it's huge. And you can see how much they took away here, but there's so much quartz laced in all the rocks. And if you look up there, you can see the layers of lower strata and then the borders that are all rounded. So that's an ancient riverbed that's been trapped up there, so they might have been digging that away, or needed to come up and down this with big trucks in more recent times, because look how huge that is. I mean, this whole flat area, and they pushed and pushed and pushed into the creek too. But I've looked at the mountaintops around here before, and there's all these rocky crags, and I swear this looks like a spot where they were washing it down and mining it down. So you never know. The history's been lost. I've dug and dug and dug, and everybody just says mercury, but far as I know, you don't get a whole lot of mercury out of quartz. And this is one of those spots that looks like they just dug into the mountains everywhere looking for the few little veins of quartz. It might have happened early on too. We had a gold rush, and within 15 or 19 years of that, that was over out here. So, and a lot of them were like one summer gold rush spots. So, they can quickly be forgotten. Very cool little specimen of stuff. And green and shiny and heavy. And it looks like you shouldn't grind it up and breathe it. Ouch. Well, there appears to be a lot of stuff here. We're gonna keep looking around, but yeah, everything's really confusing here. Almost looks like there was a bunch of house sites and then that got scraped off is what I'm thinking. Or in spots like this where there's islands. Looks like a bulldozer went around either side of it and left just a tree. So a lot of what was here might have gotten smeared out. Yeah, well, I would go get in the water except for my pinpointer started leaking, so got to get a hold of somebody at Garrett and see if they will replace it to start taking on water at the seal around the button. So, ooh, some bigger fish down in there. Not bad. Be a good little meal. Okay, on with the hunt. I wasn't even thinking about what I was looking at here. We do get natural concrete out here from things getting concreted. But you see that? Not this. This is the rock of, you know, that you would build a dam on top of. But even what I'm standing on, over to where it goes into this, and that's what I mean. I think a lot of this is just their push out from huge mines up above. But look, I'm pretty sure this is natural, or not natural concrete. We have a lot of naturally occurring limestone up here. But, I don't know. This particular mix is looking like ours, and there's pieces of it, like man-made, pieces of it falling down in there, which would explain why there's such a big hole here. I mean, that actually looks like a big old piece of broken dam rolled off in there. And all the garbage up above, so this might have been some sort of mill site or something. We're about halfway down the canyon. I'm using natural rock ledge, build it up, have a holding pond behind this. That makes sense why there's so much edge work and stuff. And yeah, looks like the dam literally fell over there. So that's pretty cool. Should definitely come down here and check around. And so here's like natural stone. And then right here it looks like glued onto it. Starts like the scabbing on process of a little glob of cement, and it doesn't go back too far. So, and this particular creek doesn't have much concretion going on naturally. Pretty cool. So we're gonna go up and work this big flat area up above it here a little bit, because we would be standing in what used to be the pond. You by here it's just dirt, loose rock, things that would have filled in behind it. And up here is where all the machine parts are, and it's more than the road. I mean, look how far over to the far cut there this is. This is a huge flat area out here. So, I'm gonna turn on my iron audio and listen for nail clusters and such. There's so much quartz and quartz ore and gold ore in this creek. It's crazy. Look at this piece. It's literally layers of gold folded on itself like a piece of dough. See that? Like there's the top of the taco. There's the bottom. Isn't that crazy? I don't know if I want to keep that as a specimen or smash that apart and see if there's gold that got stuck down in that bend. We're bringing it home. I'm going to load it in my backpack right now. Haul it with me. I always tell myself I'll go back for stuff and then I don't half the time, so. But, getting a little evening breeze here. Sorry about the messed up camera. We are winding our way up this road. We're coming out all these meadows and stuff. Now we're headed up this way. You can see it continue on. I saw this piece of glass and I thought, oh, that's old, and I picked it up. And then I really caught the detail. Look at this edge. See if I can go slow enough to catch it. It's been napped. So I've heard stories of this where the interface that went on for 100 years between the Native Americans and, well, around here it was about, oh no, 7 years. We're actually on the road that was a campaign road to, quote unquote, scourge them out of this area and drive them into Covelo and Round Valley. But look at that. I don't want to get too far off track. That's been napped. That's a lot of little conchoidal fractures for a piece of glass and fluting going on there. I swear that looks like it's been worked, which would be not uncommon, because as soon as they hit glass and metal and stuff, they were like, hey, we know how to use resources. But that's the first time I've actually seen it. We're about the right distance out to where the early townships were growing, but the natives would have been still right out here. It's just a hypothesis, but that looks like the edge of an arrowhead being formed. It's hard for glass to do that really naturally. Yeah, it just tends to break. Okay, well, I'm going to bring that back and eyeball it and think about it some more. Okay, we got a Nike belt buckle from Italy. Looks to be plated crapola, but it was a good signal. So working our way up this road, but there's just a lot of modern garbage. So who knows? We're gonna keep going now. This is kind of a treasure. Okay, that's what I was saying. There's a real treasure, and it's made out of gold. See that? It's a piece of real red glass from a tail light of something that used to drive on this road. Now what's special about that is that this old red tail light glass, the only way they could make this red was with gold. So, look, there's another piece right here. Oh, look at that. See it? Number, or it's got an S on it. That is awesome. So probably said stop or something on the back of a school bus. Red glass though. When you see old automobile red glass, and that's rare. I know it wasn't once, but it is now. It's not like it's a whole red lens, which is really cool. But for being way out here, I'll take it. Somewhere up above on some other road, I think I see a road cut buried in the grass here. Somebody had an incident, or if it was a bus, they could have come across the ditch, I guess. But pretty darn cool. Right on, we'll take that modern relic. Gold red. Well, and the road just keeps winding on up and up. So we're gonna head back down. And yeah, probably just edit this up and put it in with another. Or send it out by itself. If so, thank you for joining me on this little walk, checking out a lost road. And we will see you next time. Remember, you can like, share, and subscribe, and comment. Let me know if I missed anything, or where you think I should go back to. It's a big area out here, and I think it might be time for some gold mining. We'll see you then.